2 weeks ago, I was camping out at Forest Hill, with Pastor K's church, in Queensland and that. And that was Saturday, the 1st of July. And that Saturday I went up to Gatton and I went up to Toowoomba. And what I heard about Toowoomba up in Queensland, I was up there just walking around, late that afternoon on Saturday, the 31st of July in Toowoomba. Picnic point, and that I was so tired because I'd be staying up all night, keeping the fire going, for some of the people in the camp that, didn't bring enough warm clothes. It actually dropped, we had a frost and it dropped to -1 degrees. But some parts in Queensland, especially Toowoomba, they only got about 10% of water left in their dams, and Toowoomba now is using all recycled water. And it just shows you that some areas in Australia, they're getting blessed by God, they're getting plenty of water, and some places in Australia, especially like Toowoomba, not getting hardly any rain enough to satisfy the population that they've got there, for the amount of people, the 90,000 people living in Toowoomba, and plus Toowoomba's using a terrible lot of recycled water at the moment. But Launceston now is blessed. Their dams are 100% full. And there's some parts of Australia not getting any rain at all. In some places like Goondiwindi and some of the surrounding towns of Western Queensland and Gunnedah, you can go to Tamworth, Gunnedah, it's all green out there. But some places in this country, God is blessing, because if people serve God, well, God's going to rain, onto these places if people turn to Jesus. But a place like Toowoomba is a beautiful city. About 10 or 15 years ago, it had plenty of water there. But now they've only got a 5 or 10% of water in their dams. And Toowoomba's running out of water, and everybody's leaving Toowoomba because they haven't got enough sufficient water to cater for the population. It's a very sad thing, what climate change is doing in this country. And so I've seen, because we're living in the very last days, just before Jesus is coming back, and we're seeing all these things happening. Just in this town, back here in late January, I think it was January the 13th, around January the 13th, they reached 40 degrees in this city, 39.8 degrees Celsius. Record temperatures that they've never ever had here before in late January, and people in Launceston the whole people of southeastern Australia were absolutely suffering in this prolonged heat wave that they've never seen ever before in the history of the white settlement in this country, in this part of Australia. But see, things are happening, and this is what climate change is doing, unfortunately. Raining in one place of Australia and there's drought in another. And plus, a place like Toowoomba had plenty of rain for years. They were replenished with a lot of rain. See, I just was up picnic point in Toowoomba about a little over 2 weeks ago, and they can't even run the waterfalls at picnic point anymore. Yeah, it's very sad, really. Very sad what's happening in a lot of parts of this country. And that's what I need. This country needs to wake up. People need to turn to God, turn to Jesus. And if people start turning to Jesus, then they're going to see, things happen. God will send the rain from the sky. Like, I just praise Jesus that this place has had a lot of rain, Jesus. And I just thank you, because Launceston's a very strong Christian community here, Lord. But I just pray, Lord, that this place has had a lot of rain. And I thank you, Jesus, for the rain, because without rain we will not survive.